I bought the Pocket 4 Pro from China from an eBay reseller. Oh, oh, it's in Chinese. Make adult money. Yeah, that's about what I expected from in terms of packaging. The reseller I bought from eBay, they sell a lot of drones. So DJI drones. So and they had tons of reviews. I wasn't too scared buying from them. Oh, I love how they had the tear on the knife for the tape. They didn't get it all. Look at that. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh, another bag. Two bags. Two bags? Why do I get two bags? Okay. This heavy. This feels much bigger than the other bag. This isn't much bigger than another bag. New bag. Old bag. The package is pretty tight. One thing about the Pocket 3 is I could never fit in the bag all the accessories because it was just too tight. So I guess I can never use the bag. The ability to remotely monitor yourself without using your phone for the DJI stuff is really nice. The app is cool, but I'm using my phone usually, and I don't want to use the phone app to control the camera if I'm using my phone for other stuff. Yeah, so I think that's a really good idea for me. Is it the camera? How to start? Wow, this feels much. You feel the weight of the camera more than the Pocket 3, I'll tell you. First thing I noticed. Yo, that looks. In the hand. Take this sticker off. This sticker off. Take that off. Take that off. Let's see. If I turn it on, will it just work? Oh. Oh, it's in Chinese. Oh no. It's in Chinese. Oh, here it is. English. Oh, I love that it comes with internal storage. Taking the SD card in and out of the Pocket 3 is a little nerve-wracking because of how fragile those micro SD cards are. I have broken more than a handful of those. Also, I do like that it has a cover now for the micro SD card. The previous one just did not, and having your SD card out there exposed, you know, yeah, I don't like that, dude. The joystick also has much more movement to left and right because it's taller, so you have much more fine grain control of the movement compared to the Pocket 3. So D-Log 2 10-bit 4K 30 FPS, which is what I shoot in because I post to the internet most of the time. You get 2 hours and 43 minutes of recording on internal storage, which is actually, if I forgot my SD card out and I needed to fill something in a jiffy, I think 2.5 hours is an excellent amount of time. Telephoto lens on the Pocket 4 Pro is the main feature I'm looking forward to. My favorite lens is a 50mm, a full frame camera. I actually have one right here on my Nikon. This is my everyday lens, the 50, and it's just something that I love. And the Pocket 3 wide angle lens is pretty good for everyday stuff, but sometimes you just want that little bit of extra compression, and you're a little far away from your subject, for example. Just having that extra reach from the 50 is really nice. The second thing is the colors. I really did not like how D-Log M was on the Pocket 3. I never used it. I only filmed the Pocket 3 in HLG because when I color grade and resolve, it's much simpler for me. And I think the colors and the detail in the footage looks a little bit cleaner than D-Log M. And the colors look a little nicer in D-Log M too after you convert to Rec 709. I think D-Log M is a little bit oversaturated, and I don't like that base look. I have more room with all the color grading in HLG than I do with D-Log M. But this is very mild, you know. like this is me nitpicking. The colors, they're perfectly fine. There's not a huge difference in the Pocket 3 from D-Log M and the HLG, but on the action, there's a huge difference between D-Log M and HLG. So I only film on HLG and the action because the colors look much nicer than the colors in D-Log M on the Action 5 Pro. Because of how small this camera is, I bring my Pocket 3 with me everywhere. So this will probably just replace it as my everyday camera. And having that extra 3x, oh, it's just gonna be a little nicer. Right now, I'm gonna go find somewhere nice. I'm gonna get some test footage. I don't know what it's gonna look like. I don't know the best things for the camera. I don't have an ND filter. We're just gonna go out there and do it raw. Wow. The record on-off button is really loud, which is really nice. The Pocket 3 is not this loud. So whenever I hit it, I didn't know if I hit it because I couldn't hear it sometimes. But this one, when I hit the record button, it has a really loud beep, which is nice. I can hear it really loudly. I'm recording in D-Log 2 here. I really like how the shadows are preserved on the cliffside and the highlights preserved in the sunset. Nothing here is clipping and everything looks really nice. The colors look really good, the shadows look really good, and I'm loving the way the blues look here. 10-bit D-Log 2 is only with the 1X, so if I want to use the 2X, or 3X they call it, I have to use D-Log, regular D-Log, so I'll just switch that right now. This is D-Log on the telephoto. I think it looks amazing as well. The colors, the contrast, the details, it looks really great here. You're about to hear past me yap a little bit right now. I'm loving the telephoto. That 3X and just having it everywhere with me, being able to get shots like this, it looks so crazy, dude. In terms of how I graded this, very simple color space transforms, D-Log, D-Gamut, DaVinci wide gamut to 709, just the contrast, saturation, and the balance a little bit to get the exposure correctly. I didn't do anything with curves or anything like that, so this is basically straight out of camera with some very mild adjustments to exposure, contrast, saturation. So right now I'm filming with the fill light above the camera and it's on auto. So there's like an auto setting for the fill light. So I'm actually adjust the fill light brightness based on what the camera sees. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the step up from the Pocket 3 to the Pocket 4 Pro. Just from like the quick 2 minutes I spent converting the D-Log 2 to 709, doing some very light adjustments to exposure and contrast and saturation, I'm already blown away with the quality of the footage. It looks so good compared to the Pocket 3. I'm not sure if it'll come across in the YouTube video, but when I'm actually looking at the raw footage editor, it's a huge difference. The colors are much better. Editing it is much better too. There's much more range in terms of the comparison between HLG and D-Log. But this is just my gut feeling. I'll actually have to spend a lot more time doing some more color grading and some detailed color grading to actually figure out if there is a huge difference. But so far, initial impressions, the Pocket 4 Pro is a huge step up for the Pocket 4 3. So the Pocket 4 Pro is listed on the Singapore DJI website for $689, and I paid $1,000 for it. So obviously I paid $300 over. So I paid 50% markup basically. Yeah. If it comes to the US, after tariffs, I'll probably say it'd probably be about $800. So maybe I pay another $200 over. To me, it's worth it. You know, I love this camera. I've only used it for an hour, but I know that this is going to be a great camera to use.